Welcome to Wild Mystery Podcast Appears, where we discuss mysteries, histories, and today, conspiracies. I'm your host, Ollie.
And I'm your co-host, Belle.
Today, we'll be discussing the Denver International Airport.
Today's trigger warnings are conspiracy theories, Nazis, military stuff, and accidental death.
Yeah, that military stuff, I couldn't figure out how else to word it.
Fair enough.
And also, y'all should have fucking seen these notes that I was taking. Because I think as we have established, I'm not the firmest believer in conspiracy theories. So, oh man, you would have found my handwritten notes while I was doing research. Very amusing.
Oh, I'm sure I would have, because...
There are going to be some that carried over.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are the sole views and opinions of Belle and Ollie with a Wild Mystery Podcast Appears. These views are not intended to harm, offend, defame, slander, or negatively represent any individuals involved in a case.
So, the Denver International Airport is also known as DIA or DEN, D-E-N. So if I use either of those, it's the same thing.
It's because I don't want to say the entire fucking thing.
Yeah, basically. So it opened February 28th, 1995, 2 years late and about $3 million over budget.
Goddamn.
Yeah. This sitting across from each other is top notch. Chef's kiss. It replaced the Stapleton International Airport, which had some problems, including design flaws of the runways and too little space for the needed expansion. So basically, like, they couldn't add room for other airlines and that kind of thing because there just was not space for them to expand.
Yeah.
The original opening date for DIA was October 1993. It was delayed due to design changes, contract disputes, and, etc. Going over budget, I'm sure, was part of that delay.
No kidding.
So it is a major hub for Frontier and United Airlines. It stands on 1.5 million square feet or 140,000 square meters, which is about a third the size of the Denver area itself.
That's what I was dropping my jaw at earlier. I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's massive.
That's insane.
I've never been, well, if I have been to DIA, I don't remember. But I've been to the Chicago airport, and that's a big airport. A big, confusing airport. DIA is the second largest airport in the world regarding landmass, and it has the largest commercial use runway in the U.S. at 16,000 feet long. That's almost 5,000 meters. It's the U.S.'s sixth busiest airport, has a 40-piece public art collection, and the conspiracies about it predate its opening, popularized by Jesse Ventura's 2012 episode of Conspiracy Theory, and by radio host George Norrie, among others, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Including DIA itself. But here we are. So let's start out strong with the dedication capstone, which brings us into our first theory that there is a link between Denver at large and the Freemasons / Illuminati / New World Order. Just
jumping right in.
Any of the above. Pick one out of the hat, and yeah.
Yep. All right.
So,
told you it's gonna be unhinged feral energy today, and I'm ready for it.
So the theory is that the Freemasons control part of DIA, or have controlled part of it since its opening, and that the New World Order plans to use that leverage to take over the world. Starting off strong.
I'm gonna do my best to reel in my laughter.
Yeah.
And just kind of like take in the information.
Appreciate, just appreciate this fine cheese, this fine wine. So, the reason I'm starting with this is that this ties into like literally every other conspiracy theory about the airport.
Perfect. Splendid.
Another theory is that maybe DIA was built to help the New World Order weather out an apocalypse or extinction event. Every now and then.
Look, I like conspiracy theories as much as the next person. This is the first one, and we're only like 30 lines into it.
Stay strong, Shane Madej.
I mean, oh my god. I just... Okay. Alright.
So real quick...
I don't know why it's so funny to me. Maybe it's because I'm so tired, but...
Here's the thing. Like, we've both worked for the state government before, and my parents have worked for the federal government, and my mom said something very poignant once to me about conspiracy theories, where she said, like, you can tell that the people who believe in these conspiracy theories have never worked for the government, because if they did, they would know that the government cannot, like, the government can't...
The government can barely scratch its own ass.
Yeah. The government can't keep secrets. The government can't organize fucking shit. Government can't organize a potluck.
There's too many
like
moving parts where not everyone is capable of keeping their fucking mouth shut.
If they couldn't keep Watergate's secret, they can't keep the fucking Illuminati secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, if you are new to conspiracy theories or just have forgotten or whatever, the Freemasons is one of the world's oldest secular fraternal organizations, tracing its roots back to the stone masons centuries ago. And it is a real, actual group. Not, I would say, a secret society. I would not describe it as a secret society. But
think National Treasure one.
Yeah. Illuminati was a short-lived secret society from the Enlightenment era that some believe is still active. And the New World Order is an alleged plot by global elites to overthrow existing governments and rule the world. Generally tied to the Illuminati.
Great.
So, as mentioned, the granite dedication capstone in the quote-unquote Great Hall. I kept seeing this Great Hall mentioned, but I was like, what the fuck is a Great Hall in an airport? Like,
yeah, that was going to be my exact phrasing. I'm like, how do you have a Great Hall?
I think it's just kind of like... We're going to be...
This can be a long episode.
Yeah,
we're gonna squash it. We're gonna squash it.
I've been in a lot of airports. I was imagining like how you enter into the Seattle airport, where like you enter and then there's a bunch of shit, and then off to like you have all the spidery tendrils that sprout off.
Yeah,
you know,
kind of. Yeah, no, it's like specifically when you go through security at Seattle.
Yeah,
and you have it's
SeaTac, yeah.
And I would say it kind of reminds me more of like I don't want to say an amphitheater, but it's like it does open up into a very large space with two main offshoots, and then it's like you have those really big windows.
So it's not like...
my first thought too is though, because you still have separate areas for arrivals and departures. So yeah. I guess for me, Great Hall would be like specifically linked to where the arrivals departures are. It
might also be pre-security. Let's look this up real quick. So I'm pretty sure the Great Hall is pre-security.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we've never been to the Denver airport,
or at least not that I remember. And
yeah,
frankly, I'm okay with that. I want to.
It would be cool to see some of this stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big art fan. Anyway. So,
okay.
The dedication capstone is dated March 19th, 1994, and has a time capsule under it to be opened in 2094. It also has the Freemason symbol on it. Like, true fact. Oh. You can, if we go to the, where the hell did I put the DIA photos? It's the first photo. Click on these photos and don't move forward until I say, because, bro, you will not... Your reactions will be something else.
Okay. I will try to keep my curiosity quelled.
I will know if you skip forward on these, because, like, you can't hide it. I know what's coming, you don't. So, it also...
Wait, what's the...
It's gonna be one of those episodes. Oh man, this is gonna be a long one. So, under the inscription of, the Freemasons symbol is the inscription referring to the New World Airport Commission. So you can imagine, this was the clearest photo I could get, but you can sort of see it.
No, It's great. You zoom in, you can actually see it very well.
So you know where theorists went with this New World Airport Commission thing.
It does very much sound like New World Order. Although
Yes.
I will say my other first thought is technically when we, the American people, left Europe, we did continually call America the New World. So I'm taking that as the interpretation, but obviously I understand
there are
that
several.
It does sound close.
We'll touch on them later. But
great.
Yeah. Theorists will say, but that's an interpretation I hadn't heard, so I'm glad you said that.
But how could it bring a different light, like when I can catch that kind of stuff? Because then I actually feel like I'm smart.
Like in the Joan Risch episode, where I think you blew my mind.
Oh, yeah, where we actually,
We solved it. I'm joking.
I feel like we made a pretty good accomplishment.
Theorists say, what do the Freemasons have to do with DIA? And doesn't the New World Airport Commission sound a lot like the New World Order? Yeah. So it prompts theories about who, quote unquote, really funded DIA. So, some believe...
I lied. Do you have tissues for this one? Because I don't know if I can... My face is like... I'm crying from, like, laughter. Oh,
so,
shit.
Some believe that the time capsule under the dedication capstone may contain clues about what's really going on at DIA. There's a braille tablet above the capstone that is said to be a keypad. If you touch the letters in the correct sequence, the time capsule will open. Braille, for those of you who don't know, is like the alphabet for blind people, where you can feel the letters, you know, like dots, you know.
There's a series of six, basically each
raised dots
that are 6 in sequence, 2 rows, 3 columns, and whichever raised dots indicates which letter that is or number. And then of course it just corresponds with it's literally just like finger spelling for ASL.
Yeah. So reportedly, current Freemasons have been seen coming up to the capstone and trying to swipe their membership card around it, like just in case.
Also, I just realized capsule's not going to open until 2094.
Yeah.
We'll be 98, which means we won't ever.
No, probably not.
Probably not.
But, you know, there's also...
Maybe when we die.
Yeah.
Like,
there's also...
What's under Denver Airport? Is it the library in Alexandria?
God, listen.
Listen.
Or whoever the fuck you think.
Listen, buddy. Listen. I need to know. Tell me
I demand answers.
Tell me all your secrets.
So there's a mining cart inlaid in the floor of the Great Hall with the letters AU and AG in it.
Okay.
Are these the atomic symbols for gold and silver, valuable metals that are often mined for instance, in Denver, which has a rich mining history? Or are they an abbreviation for Australian antigen, a deadly chemical weapon in development by the Illuminati to destroy mankind?
I immediately was
clearly the latter, right?
Of course. I mean, God, what other possibility could it possibly be in which my brain, who hasn't thought about the fucking periodic table since I was in high school,
that I realized
10 years ago, I was like, oh, gold and silver.
Yeah.
Wow.
But wildly, the Australian antigen does actually exist. But note that the actual abbreviation is HB little s big A little g and HBsAg. It is
an interesting
okay, because it is a surface antigen for the hepatitis B virus. And basically its presence in the blood is used to indicate a current hepatitis B infection and is used to diagnose Hep B. So
interesting.
I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on? But anyway. There are also strange markings on the walls. Believed to be an alien language. But here's the here's where I ran on the parade. So, in reality, like all airports, the Denver International Airport is controlled by the U.S. government, not the Freemasons or the Illuminati or whatever. The World Airport Commission was either a real thing that no longer exists, or was a reference by Charles Ansbacher, an arts advocate who died in 2010, to Dvorak's New World Symphony, and existed only to orchestrate DIA's opening festivities, or, as a spokesperson from DIA says, it's phrasing by the Freemasons to nod to the new international airport as a way to access the whole world. So, like, it is the new World Airport Commission, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's a whatever.
Well, because, so, I apologize. Genuine question. Was Denver, one of the first international airports in the U.S.?
I don't think so. And I'm pretty sure the airport that was there before it was also an international airport.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. It was. But...
yeah. So, I don't know.
Maybe, new in the sense of, a new way to do international airports.
Or just, that it was a new airport. You know?
Yeah. Just thought that was an interesting question to pose.
From Denver.org comes the quote, while some have made much of this being the Freemason symbology on the dedication capstone, airport officials say it's only evidence of the generosity of the local Masonic lodges that crafted and laid the stone. After all, that's what stonemasons do, end quote. I loved the sass in that quote, so...
Yes. That's what they do.
And also, I found this one especially tasty as well. The Denver Post says, quote, "These strange markings are Navajo language characters and references to other airport artists," end quote.
Okay.
So, just, I cringe at people going, "Oh, an alien language." No, bro, you're just racist.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I can do this.
So, Freemasons did help to make the time capsule, so they put their symbol on it, you know, as they do.
Yep.
The time capsule is also said to contain coins, a signed opening day ball from Coors Field, a few Blackhawk casino tokens, and a pair of former Mayor Wellington Webb's sneakers, and so on. The sneakers, by the way, because I thought this was what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that was my thought as well. I was like, explain.
Why?
Explain.
So the sneakers are a reference to his sneaker campaign, which was basically going door to door, which I was like, I would pay you to not come to my home to campaign.
Yeah. Did I tell you that I had someone come to my door campaigning, and I was like, can I fucking help you?
I need your name so as to not vote for you.
Yeah. Do you need anything? Yeah, you to get off my fucking property.
Yeah, seriously. In Alaska, Jesus. They should know better.
Right? I'm like...
But on that note...
Also, because I lived down the road from a U.S. representative, I was like, I already get enough of this shit.
Yeah. So, on that note, we're going to take a quick ad break. So, theorists also wonder why DIA needs so much land. Why is there barbed wire on their fences, quote, facing in? What the fuck does that mean? It's goddamn barbed wire.
This actually does kind of make sense to me. It's easier to climb a fence outward, but it's not like you can stand on top of a fence with barbed wire and then hop over. So, logistically speaking, it actually makes sense to have it pointed inwards.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think it would make a difference which way it was facing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in terms of, safety, it makes more sense having it pointed in, I guess. I don't know. I'm just not gonna.
I'm willing to be like somebody fucked up, and it doesn't really matter because it's goddamn barbed wire. But anyway. So basically, the barbed wire facing in prompts many to think, will DIA be used in the future as a prison or a concentration camp? No. No?
No. No.
So, also, the runways are built in a fan shape. The design allows for takeoffs and landings in any direction regardless of wind speed / direction. Now, this is going to be switch to the next photo.
Okay.
Now, what shape do you see there?
I mean, I get what they're saying about it looking like a swastika, but not...
I was
Honestly,
kind of like,
to me,
I guess.
It looks like several parallel lines.
Yeah. It looks like
converging
a
on the
fan-shaped runways,
airport.
You know? But people say that it is swastika-shaped, and if you actually look at the way that they've traced it, like, it's a wild swastika. If it's a swastika, it's
okay,
wild.
like, if you look at, like, the very clearly defined, like, run points where it's, like, the far left one, the upper right.
Like, you can kind of see it if you really look, but...
but I mean...
But there's also, like, an extra little runway that they're not acknowledging in this drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I just think it's, like, humans are really adept at noticing patterns and seeing, like, patterns where a pattern might not necessarily exist, and I think this is an instance of that.
Mm-hmm. Like when you see a face in tree branches and that kind of thing, like, or cloud gazing is a really good example of seeing things that aren't there.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
basically that, theorists say the Stapleton Airport was fine. Why would we need this other airport? And now it has a swastika-shaped runway. But in reality, the two parallel runways at the Stapleton Airport were too close together for safe landings in bad weather. This happened about 150 days out of the year and cut the number of arrivals per hour from 80 to 36.
Wow.
So...
very significant.
Basically.
And it's actually more dangerous to have all of those planes circling, trying to land in airspace.
Slowly running out of fuel, yeah.
Significantly more dangerous.
So DIA does not have this issue with the bad weather.
Yeah,
so,
well, because they've got, like, what is
they
that?
planned
like
for the bad weather.
8 of them?
And basically...
8 runways.
And Stapleton, also, I was just chatting with my dad about this, was, like, super close to the Rocky Mountains. So because of that mountain weather, it did have a lot of bad weather.
Well, it's like trying to fly into Juneau. I hope to God one day I do get to go to Juneau for work. Or... any other reason, because it sets against a mountain. You actually have to bank really hard to land in Juneau, and I'm like, yes, please. I was actually, anyway, sorry. I will stay on topic.
This is one of the fun ones. I mean, they're all fun.
But
moving on to our next theory about the underground tunnels. The general claim is that when DIA was built, a network of tunnels, buildings, and bunkers were built below it, where the world's elite could be safe from an apocalypse and return to the surface world when safe to do so.
A lot of airports have underground tunnels. Fucking Disney World has underground tunnels.
So
does Disneyland. So
we'll get to those conspiracy theories someday, though.
Okay, I'm fine.
So basically... another theory is that lizard people, which are apparently also called reptoids. I had never heard that. I knew that was going to be about 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. But the other theory is that lizard people or aliens live down there. Now, the staff can 100% for sure tell you that that's not true, but I don't think they would. I think they would tell you it's very true. We'll get into that. So, there are, in fact, tunnels under DIA like there are under many airports and theme parks.
I'm not doing well.
Yeah, I'm just forging ahead while you're having a breakdown.
Yep. I'm good. Best way to do it, frankly. I'm still taking in the information. I just am processing.
Crying. So there are, like I said, tunnels under DIA. Some theories also suppose that 5 buildings were built and then buried. Like, some of these theories are that the buildings were built wrong, and instead of being demolished, they were just buried and DIA was built on top. Like, what the fuck is this theory? Where does it come from? I have no clue. But some people wonder if so many contractors being dismissed during the construction was a tactic to prevent people from working on it, or prevent people that were working on it from understanding the, quote, full scope of the project, end quote.
You know, that's a surprise. There's like a surprising amount of theories that are based around that when there are multiple contractors.
As if, like, in this many year, like decade singular long construction, you're not gonna have some contract disputes and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
especially with the government.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But the idea is also that all the dismissed contractors allowed the planners to build tunnels and buildings underground without anyone questioning it. Some people also say that the delays in going over budget are proof of this. Like, especially the budget. Like, were they adding things at the last minute? What would they be adding that would cost so much? We'll get to that. So, there are also graffiti on the walls depicting aliens, and that I do have a photo of. So, that first picture, that's the tunnels and a baggage handler driving through one. And then that second one is some chalk art of an alien on the wall.
Okay.
Some people say that the tunnels were constructed as a sort of Noah's Ark, quote, so that 5 million people could escape the coming earth change. That's from Westward. Denver.org says, quote, after Jordan Peele's 2019 horror film Us premiered, some even posited that the tunnels beneath the airport could house a community of murderous doppelgangers ready to rise out from under the earth and take over the surface.
I'm dead. I have
gone to DIA.
I have ascended. What the fuck?
It's gonna get even better, but
you sure? Better? Not what?
No, better. I promise.
Okay.
I was thrilled when I discovered some of this stuff.
I bet you were.
So there are also theories of tunnels going from DIA to NORAD, which is the North American Aerospace Defense Command, and or the Colorado Springs Air Force Base, and from the Air Force Base to the Cheyenne Mountain Complex in the Rocky Mountains. These tunnels would be time-consuming and cost-prohibitive. This is the part where I rain on the parade, by the way.
Thank God.
And, for example, the Gotthard-based tunnel in the Swiss Alps is 3.4 miles long, less than half the length of what the tunnels from DIA to NORAD would be, and it took more than a decade to complete. The truth. There is a network of tunnels underneath the airport, used by about 1,000 people a day to ferry luggage and house plumbing and electrical cabling. It was built for a multi-million-dollar baggage system that was intended to be the best and most advanced in the world. It was meant to shuttle baggage around the airport effortlessly. Basically, like, with robots. It never really worked very well. It was a big reason for the delay in the opening, but was still sort of used up until 2010, until it was just entirely scrapped because it wasn't really working. Graffiti is by the employees, visitors, etc. The employees, this is the part that thrilled me, have also been known to put on lizard masks to prank the media when they tour the tunnels. See, for instance, the Fox 31 KDVR Denver footage that is often circulated uncredited and used as proof.
Amazing.
Phenomenal. I'm a big fan of these employees.
Oh, I would totally do that.
Yeah.
I would, oh my God.
I would fuck with the media all day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be like I'd be like, you know what? How about you just hire me to do that shit full time?
Yeah.
I'm like, I will.
And we'll get into this. DIA may actually take you up on that, but anyway.
Could I live in Denver just to fuck around?
So,
because I like living here too much, but that is beside the point.
Basically, As said so poetically by Alex Rentiera, spokesperson for DIA, quote, "They're not full of conspiracies. They're full of baggage," end quote.
Love it.
Phenomenal. So,
queen or king, unsure of gender, and it does not matter. Gender identity. Either way, hero.
Yes.
Iconic.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear baggage handler uniforms. In lizard masks. I'm such a big fan. I would get these employees' hand signatures, autographs.
Mr. DIA employee, can I have your autograph?
Trying to kill me.
Sorry.
So, for all public projects in Denver, such as building an airport, 1% of the budget must be allocated towards...
I swear to God, you said balloon airport. I was like, I know that's probably not what you said, but that's what I heard.
I meant such as an airport.
Okay.
But 1% of the budget must be allocated towards public art to be displayed at whatever.
Public
project.
Yeah.
So,
which is cool.
Remember that DIA has a 40-piece public art collection. Theorists believe that they hold clues to sinister influence, mostly credited, quick additional trigger warning for Nazis, mostly credited to the Illuminati, Nazis, New World Order, and Freemasons. Also, additional trigger warning, Holocaust. So, there are murals. The murals by Leo Tanguma on the 5th level of the Jepson Terminal are a major source of conspiracies. The theory is that the paintings depict and predict the end of the world, perhaps depicting Nazi/fascist imagery.
Uh-huh.
We're getting a little dark here.
Uh-huh.
It will end on a lighter note.
It's not great. I mean,
yeah.
Artistically, it looks nice. But...
So, yeah.
It looks not...
Yeah.
It looks concerning.
So, Children of the World Dream of Peace is that first one that you're seeing.
Uh-huh.
With the soldier standing in front of some rubble, holding a sword and a gun, stabbing a dove. Basically, some point to a letter in the corner that is apparently a reference to a child who died in Auschwitz. There is that little letter there that you can't really read. So does this mean that this is a pro-Nazi imagery, or is it a depiction of the real cost of war? Some say also that the soldier is killing the Christian dove of peace, which, frankly, I believe that one.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
I'll give him that. So if you skip ahead 2 drawings, or 2, where you see the one with the fire, kind of.
Yep. I'm with
you. That one is in peace and harmony with nature. Has depictions of extinct animals with labels and dates. Dates they went extinct. In reality, these paintings are depicted in these theories divorced from their full context. They are a series, which is why I had you skip that one painting. Each painting has a second image showing happiness and peace, which is the artist's depiction of his hopes and desires for the world to live in harmony. This quote that I'm about to read that is very long is from denver.org. Quote, "One section of Children of the World Dream of Peace shows scenes of war and death anchored by a gas-masked soldier wielding both a sword and a machine gun, while the other depicts happy children from around the globe dressed in colorful traditional clothing and laying down their weapons beneath a rainbow of peace. Similarly, one section of In Peace and Harmony with Nature shows children mourning the death of 3 women and the extinction of numerous animals as the environment burns in the background, while the other section of the mural illustrates the children of the world coming together to rehabilitate and celebrate nature." End quote. And as Taguma said to Mental Floss, quote, "I have children sleeping amid the debris of war, and this warmonger is killing the dove of peace. But the kids are dreaming of something better in the future, and their little dream goes behind the general and continues behind this group of people That's that, by the way, that rainbow that you see behind the soldier.
Yeah.
And the kids are dreaming that peace will happen someday. See how the little dream becomes something really beautiful, that someday the nations of the world will abandon war and come together, end quote. So I feel like sad for this dude that he tried really hard. I mean, he made fucking massive murals.
Yeah,
that
these are
like and beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
To depict his hopes and dreams for the future, and people only focus on half of them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's pretty standard. There are a lot of people like to focus all on fucking negativity.
Yeah. So we're going to take another quick ad break, and then we'll come back with some lighter ones. All right. So, next theory about the gargoyles. So, these gargoyles are called Notre Denver and are created by artist Terry Allen. I love the name, by the way. Terry, if you're listening. So they sit in open suitcases with tongues out over one of the baggage claim areas. People think they are, quote, ominous and random, end quote, and harbingers of evil. And other words that I can say today. Yes. There is. I did have a picture.
Yep.
I think they are excellent men. Historical significance of gargoyles, by the way. English churches and old castles use them for protection and to prevent evil spirits from entering the building. So the real idea behind the gargoyles is that they are protectors there to help ensure the safe arrival of luggage, which I, for one, truly appreciate. Having lost baggage before, I appreciate that.
I'm gonna say, I think it's like with owls, where it's like they've been given a bad rap. It's like so many people like to focus on like, oh, they're evil. Most of that stuff is the perception of they're not evil. They're meant to protect and do research.
Like vultures, people
give them a bad rap. They're like,
just out there
like bees.
Being garbage collectors, you know?
Yeah. They're doing their own part in our ecosystem. And
Respect
bees.
them. And gargoyles.
Except for fucking wasps.
Yeah.
Those bitches can die.
And mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes are important.
What is their point other than to, like, feed frogs?
That's the point. Is they feed many, many, many other animals.
They're an easy target, I'll give them that.
Birds
yeah.
eat mosquitoes.
So, there is also, which, if you've heard of the Denver airport, you know, conspiracies, you've heard of this. There is a giant blue Mustang statue. Its official name is Mustang.
Creative.
Yeah. 32.
Sorry, Luis.
Yeah. It is 32 feet tall, a blue Mustang statue about 9,000 pounds, made of fiberglass. Yeah. Massive.
Yeah.
It rears up on its hind legs over Pena Boulevard, and its glowing red eyes and snake-like hair led locals to dub it Blucifer.
Also, so creative.
Yeah. So, the artist is Luis Jimenez. He grew up working in his father's neon sign-making shop in Mexico, and is primarily known for his large fiberglass sculptures. Blucifer was commissioned in the mid-90s and took more than a decade to complete in Jimenez's workshop, studio, I guess, in New Mexico. As it was nearing completion, in June of 2006, a piece fell off, severed an artery in Jimenez's leg, and killed him.
Wow.
So, I don't want to give too much, like, credence to these theories, because clearly this was a tragic accident.
Yeah.
The sculpture was finished by Jimenez's children and unveiled by the airport in 2008. Some people basically interpret it to be one of the steeds belonging to the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and Jimenez's prompted rumors that the statue is cursed or that it came to life and killed him intentionally. Which, that's the part that I was like, come on, guys. Like,
really?
It's not already hard enough for his family.
Yeah. Good.
In reality, Jimenez was inspired by famed Mexican muralists Diego Rivera and Jose Clement Orozco in his use of bright, clashing colors. I said clashing, but I mean, the sites I saw said clashing, but I don't know that red and blue clash necessarily,
It doesn't, the colors don't clash. It looks
No,
great.
It looks great. It's meant to symbolize the wild spirit of the West, and the red eyes are a homage to his father, who, like previously mentioned, owned that neon sign shop. So, other random theories that didn't really fit anywhere else. One is that DIA hosts Area 52, which itself hosts vague government secrets, as per usual, Also, maybe the coordinates for the airport were given to the architects by aliens?
Okay.
The odd markings on the walls and building codes from the secret society members, or snippets of an unknown extraterrestrial language. In parentheses, there are actually references to Navajo language. End quote. Or maybe it will be the military's HQ if a war breaks out. Obviously, there's room for plane storage and barracks, etc. Do I think that's realistic? No.
No.
Because I think travel will still be necessary during a war,
They have war rooms literally everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need a fucking airport for it.
You will still need commercial flight during a war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not maybe to the extent that it is now, but...
No. Yeah.
So, in conclusion, the Denver International Airport has embraced these theories, which I truly appreciate. Heath Montgomery, the senior public information officer at DIA, says, quote, "We have a CEO, Kim Day, who really embraces the conspiracy ideas. We decided a few years ago that rather than fight all of this and try to convince everybody there's nothing really going on, let's have some fun with it," end quote. So, this is
love that.
A quick, fun game. Let's rate each of these moves by DIA.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, move number 1, they made a series of ads to dispel/tease the theories. And new renovations in 2021 prompted more of these jokes. So that's this one with the lizard person, and also the one with the cat in the tinfoil hat.
Oh,
nope,
okay.
Just kidding. The one with the gargoyle. So this says, it's got a lizard person on the phone. Says, what are we doing? A, adding amazing new restaurants and bars. B, building an Illuminati headquarters. C, remodeling the lizard people's lair. And then this one has a picture of the gargoyle. Or one of the gargoyles. What's happening behind this wall? A, gargoyle breeding grounds. B, a top secret Freemason meeting. C, an improved airport experience. If it walks like a duck.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
So that one gets a 5 out of 5 by me because it...
Yeah.
Oh man. I enjoy that.
I would say lizard person 4 to 5, gargoyle 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
incredible.
Also, this is where I will invite you to go to DENFiles.com. So this DENFiles is a play on X-Files, which in itself 5 out of 5.
Oh, Jesus.
So in that, it's basically they collect some of the, conspiracy theories. So one of my favorites is quotes from the website. The airport was built by the New World Order. Naturally, people think this is because a dedication marker and plaques around the airport claim it was funded by the New World Airport Commission. Never heard of them? Don't feel left out. It seems no one has. After some digging, it was discovered that no such group exists. Not now. Not when the airport was built. Not ever. So rather than writing it off as nothing, people have jumped to the conclusion that it is actually a group within the New World Order. Sketchy, sketchy. I'm a big fan of this website.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your rating on that?
Oh, on that specifically?
Yeah.
I would say 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they put in an animatronic gargoyle in the Great Hall that talks about some theories and interacts with visitors.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 for me too. And in 2016, they had a museum-style gallery exhibition called Conspiracy Theories Uncovered, featuring the most notable conspiracy theories. We'll do just that. Just that by itself is like a 3 out of 5 to me.
I would agree.
Now, the gallery featured a false alien skull made by employees and planted during the construction of the Westin Denver International Airport Hotel.
5 out of 5.
10 out of 5. I love that. I'm such a big fan.
That's amazing.
So, DIA staff will steer conversations away from, like, Nazi topics specifically. Heather Kaufman, the director of arts and public events at DIA, said, quote, "We do have some subject matter that we wanted to either just avoid or tread very lightly with. Some things are worth debunking. Whoa. Others aren't." End quote.
Debunking.
Yeah, I don't know. The Denver Post says, quote, I thought this was a good point, by the way. So, quote, "If the airport and its backers have spent decades and billions of dollars hiding secret global plots and infrastructure, why jeopardize that work by putting so many obvious clues in plain sight?" End quote. So also Montgomery, who again is the senior public information officer at DIA, or was a couple years ago, he says, quote, "No matter what you do, you lose. You show people the tunnels and explain the symbols, you lose. You clam up and deny it, you lose. So that's why we've started to have fun with these, because people are just going to believe what they believe, regardless of hard evidence." End quote. So basically, you can't prove a negative. By the way, science is about proving positives. If you come to me and you say, you can't prove it doesn't happen, no, because that's not how fucking science works. You prove it does exist, and then we will go from there.
Yeah.
Because that's how science works.
Yes.
And to wrap up with this quote from DENFiles.com. So, what's to come? Are we expanding the bunkers, revamping the lizard's layers, giving the gargoyles a much-needed makeover? Not exactly. But if that's what you want to believe, we're not going to hinder your imagination. So dream on, travelers. Dream on.
Beautiful.
This has been the case of the Denver International Airport. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Wild Mystery Podcast Appears, recorded and produced by Ollie and Belle.
Please check out all of our social media where we have additional information shared. You can find all of those links at our website at awmpa.com.
We'd love to hear your feedback for our podcast, so be sure to rate and review.
Tune in next week for another episode of A Wild Mystery Podcast Appears.